Many destinies are woven from a single thread. A new age began when the brave human army slew the Orcish Emperor, ending their age-old reign over the world. Watching the glorious moment from his citadel was the Ever-King, the immortal leader who united the tribes in victory. While the humans celebrated their triumph, the wise Ever-King foresaw a far greater challenge. He summoned to his citadel 2 heroes and sent them on a voyage into the impossible, through a magical portal beyond which lay another world. For days, the heroes journeyed through the alien landscapes of the world of Kun, a hostile realm inhabited by the Vorn, a race of ruthless warriors. They sought the Disk of Ages, an artifact of great power and mysterious origins. They stole the disc and made their way back to the portal with an army of Vorn in pursuit. The Vorn will not rest until they retrieve the disc. The tides are rising.
I'm back.
They are coming.
I got a game for you. It's called Overfall, and it's not good. So let's start, I guess. Alright, so in Overfall you have 2 heroes to start with. You get to pick their class. I've only unlocked a few classes. Fighter and Cleric, though, has so far been the best synergy, so I'm just going to stick with them. You get to pick their weapons. Each weapon has abilities and their skills. They also have trinkets which give them special stuff, like whenever a foe misses, you get 2 extra HP, or whenever allies HP drops below 30, that's absorbed by that ally. I don't really want to change anything. They start with pretty decent default skills, so we're gonna do this thing. That's the basic story. We come back and we need to find these beacons, and to do that we need to make friends with races. There are 6 different races. Goblins, orcs, dwarves, and a few others. But the basic mechanics of the game is you sail around, you go to an island, stuff at the island happens. Making choices, sometimes you get these gold balloons. Those are special choices that only certain characters get. Like this guy can track down the bear, who's well, quite a looker. So if we leave them alone, that gives us reputation with hollows, who are beast people. And I'm sure that's going to turn out fine. So now we have a bit of reputation with hollows. So if we continue doing that, get more reputation, we can do their quests and eventually beat the game. Sounds legit. So the right answer to this quest is to take the witch. Some quests have different rewards that are like randomly generated branches. This one, as far as I've seen, only has 1. You give the witch back, you get nothing. If you take the witch, You get frags. Frags are currency, basically. There are frags, dust, which can make your ship go a little faster, but don't use it for that because it can be used for other stuff, basically as a second currency. Ruins, which you can use to revive party members, and food, which you can use to heal. Sorry, I'm busy. Basically, I don't want to ruin my reputation with hollows. So now we get into the combat of the game. It is hex-based, and it's kind of bad. I really can't do anything right here. I can't reach them. If I go over there, they just get a free attack on me, so I'm just going to hang out. We've got 3 phases, a movement phase, utility, and attack phase, and I'm going to skip all of them. These guys are moving over and casting buffs. So now I'll move my cleric over, and she will cast, as her utility spell, a Dispel, which will remove buffs. Buffs are a very big part of this game. And then just a generic attack. So this guy has an attack called Leap, which lets him do that. He has a very good debuff called Incapacitate, which will strip an enemy of their attack turn, so it's very good. And we'll use his strong attack and maybe kill, probably not kill. So the main problem with the combat is that I feel that there's not a lot of strategy, because most of the time you're just working with 2 characters, and also it's kind of long and tedious. Everyone has too much HP. In general, it kind of reminds me of Renowned Explorers, in that you're a person who sails between islands and does occasional quests on a hex grid, but also it's not fun. So I haven't played this game as much as I really should have. I've unlocked some stuff, but not a lot. And I will probably skip through a lot of combat, at least fast forward it in post, unless something interesting happens. So the cleric doesn't have a lot of great utility spells unless you're dealing with buffs or healing. This spell does a fair bit of damage, especially to undead. The main weakness of the warrior is that he doesn't really have AoE attacks. The cleric only has 1, and it kind of sucks, so that's the main weakness of this party. They do, however, synergize well in that the cleric can just heal like that. It's cool. And heal like this, which is really a regen, not a heal. He'll gain HP on the next round. She does have this, though, which damages and heals her. Well, it would damage if it hit. My warrior got hit with some kind of status effect that makes him a coward, so he runs away at the start of every turn, which is not helping me right now. There we go. Yeah. After every battle, you also get certain buffs or debuffs. Like Solomon, my warrior, is now Craven, so he has a 15% chance to apply fear to himself at the beginning of every turn. You get these kind of randomly. Some have to do with what you do in battle, like if you take heavy wounds from a certain type of enemy, you'll become scared of that enemy. But some are just completely random. This is a very hard quest to do, so I'm just gonna say no. Not that I want to win, because that's gonna take a long time, but also I don't want to die yet. Alright, so I had to cut this video to shit, basically. Just so I could bring it in at a reasonable amount of time, because the battles in this game take way too fucking long. So here I was talking a bit about buffs. There's a bunch of different ones. They mainly break down into buffs that give you more damage, buffs that will increase your defense, debuffs that will damage you over time, and debuffs that make you vulnerable to damage. Generally, the best kind of buff/debuff you want to give people is ones that have damage or have enemy damage, which is what the warrior does, so that's kind of cool. But there's like a million of the fucking things, and you can hover over them to see what they do, but since we're going so fast, it doesn't even matter. Oh well. Food to recover, and just keep checking stuff out for now. I should mention that the writing in this game is atrocious. We haven't seen the worst examples yet, but we'll get there. So yeah, this is the game. There's not a lot of tactical depth to it. There are certain synergies with your main party and sub-party members you can get later, which I might have talked about earlier. But honestly, I've never felt like I was doing anything particularly cool, or like my skills mattered that much. I suppose if I really studied it, they might matter a little, but not enough to actually influence a lot of the harder battles. In harder battles, you just get stomped no matter what. I mentioned the writing in this game was bad, right? I mean, I figured I'd run into a bad game eventually. And I thought Risk of Rain was not great, but I could see how people like it. But, you know, this game, definitely just kind of bad Flash game caliber material we're working with here. And I knew it would happen eventually. We'd get to a bad one. I just didn't think it would be this one. I didn't think it would be this soon. Anyway, instead of dropping in just a bunch of bad filler commentary, because there's only so many ways I can say this game is whack as fuck, I'm just gonna go ahead and insert some smooth tunes in here. I don't know what I'm gonna put in yet, but you're gonna love it. Definitely, it's gonna be great. Enjoy.
I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. The police and the government touch my cock. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. I'm as high as hell, and you're about to get shot. The police and the government touch my cock.
God damn. Community is a really good show. You know what? If you're watching this video and you haven't seen revolutionary sitcom Community by Dan Harmon, one of the creators of Rick and Morty, you should stop watching this video right now and go watch like the first 3 or so episodes of season 1. Because I gotta be honest with you, this video is bad. It's going nowhere. I'm sitting here in my editing room, aka my living room, in front of my computer, and I'm going, how do I salvage this piece of shit? Because it's not good. Like, my commentary wasn't good. I can't go back and redo the commentary because the game's not good. What do? And the truth is, and this is the truth, it is 1 a.m. and I have drank a lot. And there is no good answer other than to talk to you about Community. I've been rewatching Community starting from the first season. I've seen it all, of course. I'm the #1 Community fan. But I'm rewatching it. I'm on season 4 right now. Season 4 is not good. Like, there are some people who are contrarian. They'll be like, oh, people think season 4 is bad just because Dan Harmon wasn't there, but season 4 is actually okay. Fuck those people. Those people are wrong as shit. Season 4 is not good. Like, the characters are whack. The stories are whack. It's just not funny. But you know what? You start at season 1. Season 1 is pretty different from the other seasons, but like, rewatching it, I think season 1 is definitely the best. Like, it was more grounded. Britta wasn't quite so weird. She wasn't quite so Britta, but it's still, like, it really worked. Senior Chang was actually the best he's been in every season. He's extremely poorly utilized in every season after the first. But the thing that was good about the first season is that they showed restraint. Like, Modern Paintball is arguably probably the best Community episode, but it is because the rest of the season showed restraint, unlike season 2, which is just kind of like a fucking high concept episode every single time. It's not that it's bad. Season 2 is pretty good, but season 1 is definitely the best season of Community, although I remember season 6 being really good, because it's all about 6 seasons and a movie. Now, I don't know where the movie is. Dan Harmon, if you're listening to this, you need to get your fucking shit together and make a Community movie, alright? Listen, Chevy Chase does not have that much longer to live. He's gonna die soon. He's an old man. You need to put him in a movie. Now, spoilers, people who haven't watched Community. If you haven't watched Community, stop watching this fucking video. Go watch Community right now. It's fucking madness. It's shit like The Big Bang Theory is accepted as comedy in this world when motherfucking Community exists, alright? I've talked to people, foreign people. When I was on a trip, I was like, hey man, what kind of American TV do you watch? And they're like, oh, I love The Big Bang Theory. It's real good. It's great American comedy. No, it's not. Fuck you. The Big Bang Theory is a piece of shit because Community is where it's at, alright? There are a bunch of other good shows like the aforementioned Rick and Morty, which Dan Harmon is part of, but Community is truly the god, alright? If you're watching this video and you have not watched Community, listen, don't even watch this video if you are not at least a level 3 Laser Lotus. If you are below a level 3 Laser Lotus, a level 5 Laser Lotus, have been demoted by you just watching this. I am now a level 4 Laser Lotus. They're gonna take my Energon Cube away, and I will not be reborn. But listen, back to what I was saying. Chevy Chase will not live forever. Spoiler alert, even though he is dead in the Community universe, he is a level 5 Laser Lotus, alright? That means that they can take his Energon Cube and in the future revive him. Boom! That means he's in the movie So Dan Harmon, make the movie before Chevy Chase dies, okay? Or else you're gonna have to fucking CG him in like Princess Leia, and it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be real bad. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, I was talking about season 1 of Community, right? Season 1's really good. Season 1's really good. Season 2's, it's pretty good, even though it goes like high concept every episode. I feel like it's not as good as season 1. Season 3, honestly, I don't remember much of anything about it. I think like Pierce becomes the villain in season 3, and that's okay, I guess. Honestly, I like Pierce as just like a kind of a neutral character. Like, he's not that bad. But season 3 gets kind of whack. Season 4 is really bad. I'm almost to the last episode of season 4, and I just gotta power through it. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta get through it. Season 5, I have no idea what happens. I can't remember. Dan Harmon comes back. I assume it's good. We'll see. Season 6, I remember really liking. Season 6 introduces new characters, like the lady who's not Keith David, and then the guy who is Keith David. And I remember it being really good. So I'm super excited to get back to that. And then, you know, the movie at some point, hopefully. Until then, I guess just Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is a pretty good show too. If you haven't watched Rick and Morty, probably fucking watch Rick and Morty. There's 3 seasons. 3! And they're all good. It's not like Community where like you can rank the seasons. All the seasons of Rick and Morty are good. Especially this last one with that last episode. Well, actually the last episode of Rick and Morty season 3 was kind of shitty compared to the one with the Rick and Morty, the Citadel. The Citadel episode was really fucking good, and then they never actually got back to it and just left that plot thread hanging, and it was kind of shitty, but you know, what are you gonna do? I think what I'm saying is that Community is a really fucking good show. My favorite Community character is definitely Pierce. You know what? Abed's cool. He's on the spectrum. Troy's alright. Jeff Winger, pretty nice guy. The Dean's fucked up. I need to tell you that. The Dean is fucked up. In season 1, he was like a normal dude, and then they just slowly make him whack as fuck. Season 1 Chang is also really good. Season 1 Chang is basically the shit. But they ruin him in the other seasons, so forget that. But the number 1 character, Pierce motherfucking Hawthorne, played by Chevy Chase, my favorite character. Even if he is old and racist, he is definitely the man. And I need you to know that. And if you don't agree, you're wrong. Unless you like... You know what? Actually, you're just wrong. If you like any other characters, you're wrong. If you like Britta, you're the worst. You are a B, and I need you to know that. Anyway. I'm as high as hell, and you about to get shot. And honestly, this game is really fucking bad. Like, I can't do anything with this. I can't. This is the best I could do. I sat down and I thought about it, and now, well, I got nothing. I got nothing, and this is what you're gonna get. And maybe the next one will be better, but probably not. But hey, at least I will make an effort. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't appreciate this for the piece of art that it is. Because this is avant-garde Let's Play. This is the king. People submit this to that fucking thread where they're like, submit the best Let's Play 1 episode. This is the best one. You understand? Do you want... This is the best one. And I cannot express how good it is. This is art. Okay? Alright. That's like 9 minutes. I don't know if I can go any longer than that. So, goodbye. And I'm sorry. Not because of this. Because you don't understand. Okay? Bye.
Anymore. Somebody said, be what you be. We could be old and cold and dead on the sea. But I love you more than words can say. Well, I can't count the reasons I should stay. Give me some rope, time and a dream. Give me the hope to run out of steam. Somebody said it could be here. We could be roped up, tied up, dead in a year. I can't count the reasons I should stay. One by one, they all just fade away. I'm tired of the wait and sees. I'm tired of that part of me that makes up a perfect lie to keep us between. But I was turning the days, so watch what you throw away and be able to recognize there's another way. Give me some more time and a dream. Give me the hope to run out of steam. Somebody said it could be here. We could be roped up, tied up, dead in a year. I love you more than words can say. I can't count the reasons I should stay. One by one, they all just fade away. I love you more than words can say.
Oh, I just stand here? Come on, Jeffrey. Get out of here. This is going to be fun. Or else. So we just punch in the numbers?
That's right.
Okay. You know this one, Jeff. We've sang it 1,000 times together in my mind. Oh, come on, Jeffrey. Make or break time. Unless you want to be back here next Saturday.
There used to be a great tower alone on the sea.
You became the light on the dark side of me. Did you know the light that you shine can be seen?
And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Jesus loves marijuana. Jesus loves marijuana.
Amen. Jesus loves marijuana.
Drinking human blood. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
you to a kiss from the rose on the grave. Ooh, the frightening of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, the light